Hello and welcome back to Everyday Matters live stream. Thank you so much for coming today. I really appreciate you. I hope you're well and I hope you're keeping safe. So this is another episode of Relationship Q&A, and as you know, we do this every Sunday at 5 p.m. UK time and at 6 p.m. Europe and Nigerian time. But thank you all so much for coming. I do appreciate you. Thank you, Elias, for sharing me out, even though you're not here yet. Thank you so much. And do well to thumbs up the stream. Share me if you can. That will be highly, highly appreciated. So, like I said before, we do this every week, every Sunday at 5 p.m. Elias Matters, thank you so much for coming. I appreciate you. I see you there. Thank you so, so much. So, if this is your first time of seeing me, if this is your first time of coming to my live stream, thank you so much. And you're very welcome. And feel free to like and then follow me on Facebook, on YouTube, wherever you can, Instagram. That will be highly appreciated. And if you've got any stories you'd like us to talk about, then please, please, please send them to my email address, which I'm going to put there in a minute. If you send your stories to me, and then we can talk about it, okay? But thank you all so much for coming. I really do appreciate you. Thank you, Elias Matters TV. Okay, thank you so much. I really appreciate you. How are you today? How has your Sunday been? I hope you're all right. I hope your Sunday has been great. But thank you for coming. I really do appreciate you. Thank you so much. So today it's a very interesting topic, really interesting, I would say, because it's something that there's no right or wrong answer to this, okay? But the topic we're talking about today is infidelity in marriage. So your spouse has had an affair. Should you leave the relationship or should you stay? Okay, so that's what we'll be talking about today. Precious Meal, thank you so much for coming. I really do appreciate you. Thank you so much. Okay, so I'm trying to make sure that this LS is not too long, okay, because we know that the last two LS have gone beyond the stipulated time. But so I'm hoping this time around that today's LS won't be too long. I'm planning to do it for an hour. I hope it is an hour, okay? So like I was saying, it's not a straightforward, like, okay, yes, leave or no leave. But that's what we're just going to be talking about today, okay? Thank you so much, Precious Meal. Thank you, Elias Matters, for coming. I really do appreciate you there. Thank you so much. Okay, so like I said, the thing there is your spouse has cheated, your spouse has had an affair. What do you do? Are you going to say, okay, you know what? I don't want the relationship anymore. I'm packing my things and I'm going. Or are you going to stay and fight for your marriage? Okay, so that's what we're talking about today. Okay, so I'd like to know your thoughts on this. Okay, what are your thoughts? Okay, so do you think that if someone has an affair, if someone cheats, then that should be it? Okay, greetings to everyone in the background. Thank you. And how is everyone doing? How are you, Precious? How are you? Before I jump right into into talking like I always do. Okay, how are you today? How are you? How's everyone? Okay, but like I said, if you have any stories you want us to talk about, my email address is there. Please send it to me, or you can send it to me on Facebook or Instagram, and then we can talk about it. But thank you for everyone that always comes back to my live stream. Thank you to the new people that are coming today and the ones that are going to be coming, that are going to be watching this later. Thank you so much. Okay, you can see I'm still trying to to get all set up, but thank you so much. I should be doing this better by now, but there you go. That's me for you. But thank you so much. Okay, she's Precious saying she's fine. That's good to know. Thank you so much for coming. Okay, so like I said, what would be your advice? So this lady has come to say, okay, her partner has cheated on her. She's not sure what to do. Okay, so what would be your advice? Would you advise her to leave? Or let's say if it's a man, would you advise the man to end the relationship because their partner has cheated? Fitness Study, thank you so much for sharing me out. Will you advise them to end the relationship because this has happened, or would you ask them to stay? What would be your advice? Okay, we know that having an affair in a relationship, it's a betrayal. Okay, so when your partner cheats on you, thank you so much, Bluebells. Bonnie, thank you so much for coming. When a partner cheats on the other person, it's always It's always painful, it's always heartbreaking, it's a betrayal. And I know that we've talked about this in my previous live stream, that once that happens, the trust is broken. And once the trust is broken, sometimes it's possible to build the trust back, and sometimes you can never build the trust back. Inspirational by Mary, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you for coming. We know that sometimes it's possible to build the trust back, and sometimes it's just not possible. The trust cannot be built back. Okay, so it's a very painful period. It's a betrayal that a lot of people go through. Some people will go through it quietly, some people would not. Some people will say, okay, you know what, that's it. I'm packing my things, I'm leaving, I can't deal with this relationship anymore. But the question I'm asking is, what do you think is the right, what would you advise someone that's going through this? Would you advise them to say, you know what, that's it? Or would you advise them to stay and fight for their marriage? Okay. Hi, every day, just coming to say hi. I'm using my data. Okay, no problem, Bonnie. Thank you very much for stopping by. I really do appreciate you for that. Thank you so much. Inspirational by Marie, fitness study, earlier matters. Thank you so much. So your engagement will be highly appreciated in this live stream, because like I said, we don't want it to be too long today. I'm gonna try and control it so that it doesn't go beyond the expected time. Well, thank you, Victoria America. Thank you so much. Everyone, happy Sunday. Happy Sunday to you too, Victoria. How are you? Thank you for coming. Okay, so that's the thing. So what would you advise? So someone has come to you, just okay, this is what I'm going through. What's your advice for the person? Okay, so like I said before, I would never tell anyone to leave their marriage. Okay, so that's inspiration by Marie's point. So she's saying that she doesn't think someone should leave their marriage just because their partner cheated. Do you have a reason? Why do you say that, Marie? Why would you say someone has gone through betrayal, someone has gone through so much pain, and you don't want them to leave? Why would you advise them not to leave? What would you tell them instead? Okay, so that's just one point. Okay, but Inspirational Mary saying that she wouldn't advise them to leave, which I also would agree, because we know that when we go through betrayal, and everyone goes through it in different ways, it affects people differently. The way it affects one person, the old Rose, thank you so much for coming. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. The way it affects one person is different from the way it would affect the other person. Okay, so um so that's, I think that's Nyagas in Dubai. Thank you so much for coming. I really do appreciate it. So the question is, would you advise someone that has been betrayed by their partner, someone that has been cheated on, would you advise them to, like, you know what, you've been cheated on, just end the relationship and go? Or would you say stay and fight for your marriage? And Maria just said here that she would not advise anyone to leave their marriage. Elias Matters, thank you for that. Is it YouTube emoji there? But I need your contributions, okay? I've got two people. Henry, thank you so much for coming. I've got two people on Facebook. Thank you so much. I do appreciate you. Okay, so the question is, what would you advise the person? I've got 17 people. Thank you so much, every single one, for coming. Okay, so the question is, would you advise them to leave, or would you advise them to stay? Inspiration Mary is saying that if they want my advice, I will talk through with them. But for me to tell them to leave, I do not feel it is my place. I will support them. Okay, Vienna's Beauty, thank you for coming. That's so true, Inspiration by Mary. And that's why I said everyone goes through betrayal differently. Okay, so Inspirational Mary is saying that it's not her place to advise the person to leave. If you want me to support you and you come to me, I will talk you through it, talk through what happened, and then we can see if there's a way out of it, if there's a way forward. But for me to tell you to leave, that's not my place. So that decision basically is on the person that has gone through the betrayal. Okay, and I totally agree with that. Designers Original. Let me just write your name down so I can check you out later. I've not seen you before. Thank you for coming, this designers original. Thank you so much. Inspiration by Mary saying exactly. Okay, so the onus lies on you that if that kind of thing happens to you, if you come to me, I would advise you. I would support you as much as I can, talk you through it, but I won't be the person to say, okay, you know what, that's it. I'll leave the marriage because I don't know how you feel about it. I don't know what's happened. I don't know the true picture of the whole thing. Okay, so I won't be able to tell you whether to leave or not. Okay, so that's so important. Okay, so precious meal girl, right? Precious, I'm so sorry. Precious Mill is saying, if the person that cheated is pleading for a second chance for me, I will stay. Okay, so does that mean that if the person is not asking for a second chance, you won't stay? Thunder Scorpion, thank you so much for coming. I really do appreciate you. Thank you so much. So Precious Mill is saying, if the person is asking for a second chance, then she would stay. Otherwise, she won't stay. Okay, and I also agree with that. Okay, so she's saying that if it was her, okay, she's not talking about giving advice now. She's saying that, and guys, my email address is there. If you want to send me any stories that you think we should talk about, then I'll be very happy to talk about them. If you send it to me on Instagram, Facebook, email, whatever, okay, I will be happy to talk about them. Okay, so yeah, so um. Precious Mill is saying that if the person is so the point she's trying to make is that if the person is remorseful, so if you've done something and you think what you've done is wrong, then yes, I will give you a second chance. But if you've done something and you're not remorseful, then why should I give you a second chance? That's what Precious Mill is saying. Tunda is saying if he cheats, she should forgive him. If she cheats, he should leave her. Thunder Scorpion, I'll just act like I haven't seen that statement that you've put there, but you're very welcome to the live stream today. They have the final say or decision if they want to stay or go. Okay, so Inspiration by Mary saying that they have the final say. They have the onus lies on them to make that decision because it's their life. They know how it hurts them, so they are the ones that will decide whether to break up the relationship or not. Okay, but the point I'm going to make here is if you've decided, Cubs, then thank you so much for coming. We're in this place. Thank you so much. Yes, I understand that what Precious Mill is saying. Okay, that's perfect. Okay, but the question is, for those that are just coming in, thank you so much for coming. I really do appreciate you. But the question is, if your partner has cheated on you, or if your partner has had an affair, would you stay in that relationship or would you leave? Okay. And what Precious Mill said is, if the person is remorseful, if the person is asking for a second chance, she would give that person a second chance. But if the person is not asking for a second chance, if the person is not remorseful, if the person doesn't think that what they've done is wrong, then there's no need to give them a second chance. Because the truth is, if they're not remorseful and you give them a second chance, there's every probability that they're going to do it again. Healthy Living with Deborah, thank you so much for coming. Queen Darcy, thank you so much. I appreciate every single one of you for coming. I really do. Thank you so much. Okay, so Precious Mill is saying that if the person is remorseful, she will give them a second chance. Queen Darcy, thank you for sharing me out. I do appreciate that. Thank you so much. Okay, but if a person is not remorseful, there's a tendency that if you give that person a second chance, then it's going to do it or she's going to do it again. Estelicious, thank you for coming. Okay, Precious Mill, exactly. Well, thanks for understanding. Of course, I understand you. Precious Mill, thank you so much. Ogonwa, this channel, thank you so much for coming. I do appreciate you. Okay, so the question is, if your partner has cheated, if your partner has had an affair, would you stay in a marriage or would you leave? Okay, and especially my Marie saying that if she wants to give her advice, she's not going to be able to. Estelicious, thank you for sharing me out. She's not going to say leave or not. The onus lies on you to make the decision whether you want to leave that relationship or not. And inspiration and Precious Mill says she would stay if the person is remorseful, but if the person is not remorseful, then that's it. She's not staying nowhere. Okay, so Thunder Scorpion is saying also was she remorseful and she came and told me, or did she get caught? Someone told me. Now she's remorseful. So when someone cheats, it's either they come and tell you. If they come and tell you that, okay, this is what I've done, then the better, so you know that yes, this person is actually sorry for what they've done, or they feel bad for what they've done. But if they got caught, then that's another question entirely. Okay. But let me just read comments. Yeah, Wendy Babs, thank you so much. Congratulations on your anniversary again. Many more years to you and your husband in Jesus' name. Congratulations. And thank you so much for coming. Victor America says, exactly, the person can be advised by people who have more experience about marriage, and she can forgive the cheater if he's remorseful. Okay. And then Ogawan says, you don't just run away, and that's the point I'm going to be talking about today. You don't just run away because your partner cheated. You have to look for the roots of the matter. Oh God, you've just said everything. And Yagas in Dubai, thank you so much for sharing me out. You just said it. So you need to look for the root cause of the matter and see if any chance, even if you by any chance contributed to it. Okay, when it says if they do it once, they will do it again. Think about yourself first. If they do it once, they will do it again, host. Okay, so that's why I said if the person is not remorseful, there's every probability. Thank you all for your contributions. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much. I do understand that if someone has done something once, there's a probability that they will do it again. That's very true. But think about it, and when do if you decide that, because I know August said you don't just run away because your partner has cheated, you want to find out the root cause. What if I'm not saying that you are the cause, what if you contributed to your partner doing what they did? Ogawani, thank you so much for that super chat. I really do appreciate it. Thank you. So what if you've contributed in one way to your partner cheating? I'm not saying you are the cause, but maybe you have contributed. Maybe what you're doing or what you're not doing, your actions or your inactions. Okay, if you leave that relationship, if you leave that marriage and you and I was talking to my husband about this afternoon, and he was asking me questions, and this is exactly what I told him. I said, if you contributed in one way to the break to what the man has done, if you go to another relationship, you're going to do the same thing. And Mary Cooking, thank you for coming. You're going to do exactly the same thing. Okay, and then what happens if the partner cheats again? You leave that one, you go to another place, and then the same thing happens. So what we want to do is find out the root cause. When they're saying you can't contribute to someone cheating on you, let's not give cheaters a pass. I'm not trying to give them a pass, but what I'm saying is sometimes when partners grow apart, so you and your partner together, you're loving, you're this, you're that. And sometimes it's possible that for some reasons you grew apart. Okay, for some reasons you're not spending time together anymore. For some reasons, different things can happen. And then this person is spending time with maybe someone at the office. And before you know it, things happen. I'm not giving them a pass. I'm not going to try and give them a pass. But the point I'm trying to make is you want to find the root cause, whether it's you or whether it's a partner or whether it's just a character default. You want to find out what it is. And I know you said that someone said if they've done it, okay, you said if they've done it once, they will do it again. 829 fashion, thank you so much for coming. And you said if they've done it once, then it's possible that they will do it again, which is so true. But if they've done it once, so for instance, it was a mistake. I know that shouldn't be a mistake, but we are all humans. If you grow apart, separate, don't cheat, as simple as that for me, which is completely fine. And like I said, everyone will deal with it in different ways. The way it affects you will be different from the way it affects the next person. Okay, but my advice at the beginning will not be, okay, just end this because this person has cheated. You want to find out what happens, if it's something that you could be rectified, because we know that the pain of betrayal is it's bad, and sometimes some people can never ever get over it. If you're that person that can't get over it, then what you want to do is make a decision correctly. Okay, make an informed decision. So think about the situation, evaluate the situation, and decide what you want to do. Okay, so it's really important that we don't just make decisions because we are angry, or because I know it's painful, I know it's hurtful, because a lot of times I've been through it as well. Okay, in my previous relationship, I've been through it, and I know how bad it is. Okay, sometimes it's better for you to just end it, because if the person has done it, they will do it again. But sometimes it's okay to just give them a second chance. Okay, it's okay to give them a second chance. Find out the root cause, and then look for talk. By all means, talk about it. Talk about it, like, okay, what happened? Why did you do this? What did you see in the next person? And just find the root cause. And I understand you, host. Okay, that's inspiration of Mary. So underscore and saying, make thinking of cheat is one thing, but um to actually plan, meet up, take clothes off, and sleep with them takes a lot of energy. Ex girl to next girl. And I totally agree with that. You can contribute and you can contribute. Okay, so that's window space. Okay, let me check if there's anyone here. Majiro, thank you so much for coming. I've got Majiro saying, so thank you so much. Thank you, thank you. Your engagement will be highly appreciated on this one. Okay, so Esther's Chronicle say, host, listen at the background. Thank you so much for coming, Esther. Thank you so much. Internet is now back. Just gonna listen. Okay, that's totally fine. Okay, like I said before, we all will deal with it differently. The way it impacts on you will be different from the way it impacts on the next person. Okay, so the decision, and like what Inspirational by Marie said before, ask Kinamo, thank you so much for coming. The decision at the end of the day is on you. So you need to make the decision yourself. Yeah, when the Bible says to avoid extras, first you must cancel or block all excess lest you fall. And that's so true. And someone was saying that you need, even for some people that go to work, some people, because it's so well, it's not so easy, but it's possible to fall into these temptations. Okay, it's possible to fall into temptation when you begin to spend time with the opposite sex, someone that's not your partner. When you begin to have conversations, you begin to tell them about your marriage, you begin to tell them about your emotions, how you're feeling. Before you know, entanglements can happen. So yes, you want to avoid those things, avoid and block all excess, yeah, when they said, but you also want to avoid anything else. Okay, maybe those relationships in the office and things like that that could cause you to cheat. Okay, but thank you also much for your contribution. No sweet names, no excitement. Exactly. And you find out that sometimes when we get married, we tend to take each other for granted sometimes. Okay, we take each other for granted. You be like, okay, this one is always going to be there, or that one is always going to be there. We stop looking after ourselves and things like that. So these are the kind of things that will make your partner to start comparing themselves or comparing you to another person, which is completely wrong. But even though it's wrong, it still happens. And that's what we're talking about. And that's why we're talking about this. I'm not in any way saying, okay, it's my fault that you cheated. No, it can never be your fault, because the person is him or her own self. Okay, so it's never your fault. Okay, but these things happen. But when it happens, how do you deal with it? How do you manage it? So that's why we're here today. Okay, yeah, when about saying once a cheat is not always a cheat, but it's difficult to trust a cheat in marriage. And that's really true. What about cheaters who are just cheaters? No excuse to cheat, but it's addiction to cheat. So for someone, and that's what I was saying before, for someone that you know that, okay, this is just this person's character, why would you want to give that person a second chance? Because that person is obviously not sorry. That person is not, they could be sorry, but it's a part of them. So you're going to keep going through the same torture, the same torment every time they do it. So for that, in that situation, that you want to really think clearly about what you're doing. If you want to continue with that torment, that torture, or if you want to leave. Okay, so that's the only time that I was okay, you know what? Think about your options. Okay, so Anne-Marie cooking, okay. Yeah, when you say, but it's difficult to trust in a marriage. Yes, that's so true. And I was listening to someone, and the reason why I decided to do this topic. So this woman, she's married to her husband, and the husband cheated maybe like 5 years ago. And up till today, she still hasn't been able to get over it. She doesn't trust the man. Anything the man does is not good enough for her. She wants them to move to a different city because the person he cheated with is in the same city. So the trust is broken. And whether that trust can be built again, that's another thing. Okay, so when they say separating is not a divorce, so go apart for a while, think through what happened and see if something that you can fix. If not, the fact that you cheat and went the whole three, if not the fact that you cheat and went the whole 360 degrees. Okay, and I totally agree with you, Wendy. Yes, so sometimes you need to separate. So if the relationship is not working, and there's sometimes it's working, you don't see anything wrong. Sometimes it's working, but you just find out that okay, this thing happened. Okay, so sometimes it's not like there's something wrong with the relationship, but sometimes it happens. Okay, so in as much as we're saying it's wrong, it's wrong, it's wrong, it's wrong, it doesn't mean that it doesn't happen. It does happen. Okay, and what do we do when it happens? That's what we're talking about. Okay, so Aunt Cooking is saying they are sorry, but it's an illness, addiction in an illness, just like drugs. Yes, and that in that case, and that's why I said in that case, you want to be like, okay, you know what are my options? Can we go for counseling? Sometimes they can, and it works. Sometimes no, it doesn't. In that instance, I'll say, you know what, separate for a while, and then weigh your options, evaluate the situation, and then decide what's best for you. And like Mary said before, you are the only one that can make that decision for yourself. Okay, depending on the scale or the magnitude of what the person does or what the person is doing. If she cheats and I stay with her, it's only to get revenge. Okay, some people will do that. Okay, some people will stay because they want to avenge what the partner has done, but I personally don't think it's right. Okay, I don't think it's right. If you decide to stay, then stay. If you decide that you want to move on, then move on. Okay, so yeah, when the Bible is saying, I always encourage people to court before marriage. It allows you to know who you're dealing with before marrying them, and that's so true. Prayer will come with abundant grace for you to get over it. Anne Cooking is saying, Turn the Scorpion, I've come to your party as recommended by Boss Day. Blue Jeans, thank you so much for coming. I'm very well. Thank you so much. Okay, and like I was saying, I had a story from some, I think it was someone's live stream I went to, and someone asked this question. She was actually looking for help because this has happened so many years ago. She can't get over it. She can't forgive this, that. She's wanting them to move over to a different city. She doesn't trust the husband, no matter what the man does. It's not good enough for her. She's always on edge, like, okay, he's doing it again, he's doing it again, he's doing it again. Okay, and I know that a lot of times this happens to a lot of people. But the point I'm going to make is, if you want to forgive, if you think your marriage is worth fighting for, and you could be like Wendy and say, you know what, that's it. I'm not going on anymore. I'm not having this relationship anymore. That's you, because that's how you've dealt with it. But if you do decide that yes, you want to, because when it's saying she needs to seek counseling, yes, and the live stream where was being run by marriage counselors, okay, and they said, okay, you need to contact us. So yeah, so if you decide that you want to stay, so you can say, okay, you know what, I'm not having it anymore. But if you decide that you want to stay in that relationship, then you must forgive. Okay, you must forgive so that you can move on, so that you can get on and be happy. Because there's no need saying that, okay, I will stay, when you actually haven't forgiven the person. Okay, and there are different types of forgiveness. Okay, you can say, okay, I would never forgive you, and then you're torturing yourself, you're torturing the person involved, and you're never happy. Or you can say, okay, you know what, the Bible says we should forgive 70 times, 70 times, or 700 and 700 times. And then you've not really dealt with it. You've not forgiven the person, but you're saying, okay, the Bible says forgive, therefore I forgive. You haven't actually forgiven the person. But what you want to do is, Busuma, thank you so much for coming. What you want to do is actually if you were staying, forgive, talk about it. Talk about what went wrong. Talk about the issue. Why did you do this? What went wrong? Talk about it, and then make a commitment to make your marriage work. If you're not ready to make that commitment, if you're not ready to forgive, then definitely there's no need. absolutely no need for you to even be there. Sharon and the family, thank you so much for coming. I do appreciate it. Thank you so much. Okay, so if if you're not ready to forgive, if you're not ready to make that commitment, if you're not ready to seek help, so sometimes, like Constance said, you need to seek help. What is Yawendi says? Let's have a look. Some can never change, even with counseling. They actually need deliverance. Okay. Even if you stay or not, you need to seek counseling so you don't even have that hunch with the next person. And it's so true, because you lose trust, because you've trusted someone and that person has betrayed your trust. So it's always possible for you to be like, okay, am I sure this person? You always be looking behind, like, am I sure this person is not going to do the same thing to me? Am I sure this person is right? Am I sure this person is saying the right thing? Okay, so yes, you need to seek counseling. Maybe not professional counseling. If you want to seek professional counseling, that's fine. You might need to speak to a trusted person. You might need to speak to a pastor. You might need to speak to a friend. You might need to speak to maybe your parent. You need to speak to someone. Talk about how you feel, and that's the essence of counseling. You want to talk about how you feel about the whole situation. So it's really, really important. And like I said, forgive, forgive, forgive. Okay, and I was listening to someone today, and they talked about, so I'm going to bring, because I'm a Christian, I'm going to bring this in today. And someone was talking about when Adam and Eve sinned in the Bible. Yes, I agree. Speak to a counselor. Okay. What went wrong? She was hotter than you. Well, you saw her before you got married to her. Yes, 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 definitely. Someone you trust. So it could be a pastor, it could be a member of your family, it could be anyone. Okay, so yeah, when the Bible say, I once knew of a marriage where the woman had to forgive her house help, use jazz on her husband, and almost destroy their marriage. Prayers and fasting saved their home, which is also important. And yes, sometimes you need to find out what happened, okay, and then pray about it. Like I said, because I'm a Christian, I'm going to talk about what happened in the Garden of Eden. For those that are not Christians, I just listen to the story, okay? So, what happened was Adam and Eve were created by God, and then they were in the Garden of Eden, and then the serpent came, and then he deceived the woman, and then the sin, and basically they were cast out of the Garden of Eden because they had sinned. But God did not leave them there. He gave them a second chance. Okay, so the second chance is what I'm talking about today. He gave them a second chance in the person of Jesus Christ. So he sent him to save them. So God did it in the Bible. So we should also do it. I don't know about the Quran. I don't know about what happened in the Quran, because I haven't read it. But the truth is, we all deserve a second chance. We all deserve a second chance, especially if we are sorry for what we have done. If the person is not sorry, if the person is not remorseful, then by all means, I don't advise you to give them a second chance, because you might just be signing up for trouble. But if the person is remorseful, then by all means, I would advise that you give them a second chance. But that's my advice. But whether you take it or not, A0 Cecilia, thank you so much for coming on Facebook. Thank you so much. Okay, but whether you take the advice or not, it's up to you, because you need to weigh your options. Okay, I'm just gonna read some comments there. Yeah, Wendy Babs says once, okay, I've read that. That's why I am totally against house help or any third party in the home. Marriage is between two people, not three. Sharon and the family, thank you for coming. No disease, no outside family, and then we can talk. Yeah. Okay, so Blue Jays is saying that if there's no outside fan, no third party, no family, no disease, no problem at all, then they can actually talk about it and then see where they go from there. Jessica Trinovec, thank you so much for coming. In most cases, when a woman cheats, it is no. But when the man cheats, they deserve a second chance, in my opinion. In my opinion, okay. And that's also true. A lot of times, a lot of times when just want to say hi because I'm not home to use my Wi-Fi, that's totally fine. Thank you, Jessica, for coming. So thank you so much, Esther, as well. Thank you so much. So when we're saying that when a man cheats, it's okay. Like It deserves a second chance. And when a woman cheats, it's a no-no. And that's so true, because that's what our society has turned the whole thing into. But and my husband mentioned this last night as well, like, okay, it affects the man mother. I'm like, no, it affects us equally. Whether it's a man that cheats or it's a woman that cheats, it affects both parties equally, because both parties go through the same pain. But the way we react to it is different. The men will be like, okay, it's okay for me to cheat. But we as women, we accept it. We accept this thing over and over and over and over again. And that's why it keeps happening. Okay, but that shouldn't be. Okay. Blue Jeans Network is saying, first of all, get tested for STDs. Find out if an outside pregnancy or babies are involved. After that, reevaluate, get help, get counseling. And that's also true. So true. You want to find out the real situation of things. What is the position of things at the moment? Is everything, can we actually move on? Has there been a pregnancy? Has there been a child? Has there been, I mean, other things come into our lives because of this decision that you've made, or because of this action that you've taken? Because a lot of things happen with people, get unwanted pregnancies, people get STDs. So many things can happen because someone was unfaithful. So you want to sit down and say, okay, you know what's actually happened because of this relationship? Okay, have you now given someone else a ring? Have you told them you're going to marry them as well? Okay, how involved are you with this person? Do you actually love this person that you are with? Because it's possible. And we're talking about the case of, was it the bank manager and the woman that had, there was a paternity scandal. Okay, so it's possible that, like I said in that live stream, that it's possible that they were both in love with each other, even though they were married to other people. So it's possible that this person has gone out of a home, has been with someone else, and is actually in love with this person, seriously involved with this person. What would you do? Okay, so that's why you have to sit and say, okay, what's the extent, what's the scale of this offense? Is there anything that we can do about it? Okay, or is it gone too far? Is it that you just want out of the relationship? Because that's also possible. Okay, so first off, okay, 829 fashion, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. It's a no really. How? Last man, egos are more fragile. Thunder Scorpion. Okay, no, your egos are not. And Thunder said, if another man sleeps with my woman, I forgive her. Then we run into him in public. It would always have a one up on me. And that's where your ego come in. Okay, because it's going to feel the same way for the woman as well. So it's not just the man. I've talked. Thank you so much. Doing great. I really appreciate it. Okay, Thunder Scorpion. Sad but true. Yeah, it is true. I feel you. It's nice. Comes in love with each other, but married to someone else. Yes, 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 yes. That's what we call entanglement. Entanglement, it's called entanglement. When you cheat, it does not only affect you, it affects everyone. I know a lady, the husband gave her AIDS when she was there innocently sitting in a corner. And those are one of the things that can happen. And it's really, really sad, because when you decide to do these things, it comes with consequences. It comes with a lot of consequences. Broken trust is like one of them, even though that's what we're talking about today. Trust is broken, that's one of them. But then there are so many other things that can happen, like this person getting HIV because the partner has gone out, or someone having to deal with an extramarried a child outside wedlock, like bringing home a child, or giving someone else's child to your husband. These are things that can happen as a result of this. So now, why are you crying? Yeah, I mean, a lot of people are so careless with their marriages. That's why their frenemies take over their homes. There's a difference between true love and fantasy, and that's true. That's true. So they might think that they're in love, but they're actually not. Okay, it's just what they see outside, and because their partner is not giving them what they see outside, they think they actually love that person, which is also true. Okay, this is not entanglement, so that is choice. that was made to jump out of a marriage. Entanglement is a choice. Business entanglements for the rich and famous, and for those looking for views, they all go, got paid. Yeah, like I say, not everyone is happy with their marriage, so keep your secrets. Not everyone is happy with your marriage, so keep your secrets to yourself. Your home is your secret place, so treat it as such. Okay, and I totally agree. Even the woman that was caught in adultery, Jesus Christ gave her a second chance. Okay, so that's just talking about second chances now. Okay, um uh, Yareni Bab is saying that not everyone is happy. So that's another angle. Not everyone is happy with you in your marriage. So you want to keep it's your secret place, or it should be secret to you. Not everyone you go to and start talking, oh, my husband did this, or my wife is this, or my wife is that. You want to protect your home, because we know that things can happen. Your friend that you're talking to might be like, okay, you know what, this is what this person is having. Let me go and enjoy a bit of it. Okay, we've seen cases like that where friends and get involved with their friends' husbands or spouses and things like that. So we want to be careful. Okay, did the husband give her a second chance? Okay, so it's really important, and that if we know that, if you know that, okay, this is a no-no for me, if you know that you can't forgive. Yomi Kitchen, thank you so much for coming. So in order for you to be happy in your marriage, you need to forgive if your partner has cheated on you. But if you know, like, okay, you know what, I can't deal with this, then you want to move on. So don't stay if you don't want to forgive. Don't, because at the end of the day, you'll be tormenting yourself. You never trust the person. You would always be looking behind your back, like, okay, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Okay, so what we want is to forgive, give the person a second chance. Forgiveness and a second chance are two different things. You can forgive but still not want to move forward with that marriage. And that's totally right. You can forgive the person and say, okay, you know what? This marriage is not for me anymore. I forgive you, but that's it. Okay. But if you want to give the person a second chance, you must forgive that person. So there's no need staying on and be frustrated, or frustrate yourself and frustrate your partner in that marriage when you know that, okay, I can't forgive you. So if you're deciding to give someone a second chance, you want to forgive, you want to talk it through, find out what happened, and then make a commitment to go forward. Okay, so this is what happened. Why did this happen? Was it because you exposed yourself to your ex, or maybe someone in your office, or maybe someone on the street? Why did this happen? Okay, what's the way forward? And again, you need to also give yourself time to heal. And I always talk about time, when it comes to healing from heartache and heartbreak and all that. You want to give yourself time to heal individually. So you want to sit back and be like, okay, this is how I feel. Talk to whoever you need to talk to. This is how I feel. Okay, I need time to recover. Victory Space, thank you for coming. I really do appreciate you. Gunters, Madam Gunters. I'll just call you Gunters. Thank you so much for coming. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much. Okay, so you want to heal as a person. You want to ask yourself question, can I actually deal with this situation? Can I actually forgive this person? So you need to evaluate the situation, ask yourself questions individually, and then as a couple, you also want to heal as a couple and move forward. Okay, Thunder Scorpio, question of one confesses to cheating, would you want details? What exactly happened? Position did you enjoy? No, 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 no. Well, if you want to even be more frustrated, you can ask, but I don't think there's any need for that. It's not going to do you any good if you start asking. So yes, you want to get some details, like, okay, where did you meet the person? Okay, how did this happen? But going into details on how they did it, that's a definite no for me. Okay, unless you just want to frustrate yourself. Okay, but thank you all so much for coming. I really appreciate every single one of you and for coming. Thank you so much. Okay, Moses, Aragon, thank you. Say worry. Area, thank you. Thank you so much for coming. So I need your contributions as well. Thank you so much. Okay. It was when for men she cheats, then say his nickname, his horse, the ego can't that can take that long. Okay, so now for men, we're talking about the ego. The ego and ego. I would say ego. Gregory Solomon, thank you so much. You just came with laughing, Gregory. You didn't even say he didn't say hello. He just started laughing. But no, that's done that for you. He makes us laugh every week, and I really do enjoy him in my life. People sometimes it can be really annoying. It's always a good thing to have him around. I do appreciate him. Thank you so much. Okay, but yeah, so like I was saying, you want to ask questions, you want to ask yourself, you want to heal through the process and decide if as a couple you want to move forward with the relationship or if you want to call it quits. Okay, but like I said, if you want to stay, you must forgive your partner for whatever they've done. Okay, me laugh. Your house, it's not a hotel. You make me laugh. Your house is not a hotel. Well, thank you all so much, guys. I really do appreciate everyone. I've got 22 people. I think I've got 5 people on Facebook. Thank you all so much. No level of detail. Okay, so Moses on Facebook is saying no level of detail will make you feel better. Okay, so Moses saying that no level of detail would make you feel better. Okay, I'm trying to place that on Moses. I know you said no level of detail will make you feel better. So yes, you want to know what happened. Personally, for me, I want to know. Minister of Music, and thank you so much for coming. I really do appreciate you. Thank you so much. Okay, Victory Space, thank you so much, everyone, for coming. So you want to know what happened, how did it happen, where did you meet this person, how did it all start? But apart from that, I don't think you need any more details like, okay, how many times in a week did you people do the do, or how far did you get to, you don't want to know all that because that would just hurt you the more. That would hurt you the more, and you don't want that, okay? But yes, definitely talk about it. That's what I would advise if you know that yes, you want to. And I know that there are times that people partners cheat and they'll be like, you know what, I don't want to talk about. Yes, you want to talk about it because I want to know what happened. Some people can become like, okay, you know what, I don't want to talk about it. It's all in the past now. Just no, I want to know what actually happened. Okay, so that I can move on. Okay, cheating is just too messy for everyone involved. You want to cheat, get a wet towel, Vaseline of your choice, fast internet access, and you'll be good in 30 minutes. Guys only don't know much for the ladies. Okay, so Building is just saying that cheating is messy. It's messy for everyone involved. It's messy because for someone that actually cheats, when it all comes out, for someone that's genuinely sorry, that person also goes through pain, through like the pain of knowing that okay, you've betrayed someone that you actually love. Okay, so that pain is there as well. Okay, for that person. So it's messy for you, it's messy for the person that cheated, it's messy for the family, and if there are kids involved, it makes it even messier. So Moses is saying someone asked if you would ask for details. No level of details will make you feel better. If they tell you everything or only a few bits, it will only burn. Okay, so Moses of your opinion that no detail at all will make you feel better. Okay, the more you know, the more painful it is. Blue jeans network. Okay, Thomas Congress says, Gary, imagine sneaking to your bedroom and you hear another man making a woman make sounds you never make before. Okay, Greg, I think talking about this, the reason it happened is more important than talking about how it happened. Okay, so that's a very good point there. So knowing why it happened, and Gregory thinks it's better than knowing how it happened. I would want to know how it started. That's me personally. But how did it happen? How did it start? Okay, why? How did it start? That's me. Okay, that's me because me, I like to talk. Okay, I know that a lot of people, men mostly don't like to give details. But personally, for me, I want to know, like, okay, where did you actually meet this person? How did you guys cross your path? You know, how did your path cross? If I'm correct. I think talking about it, Lucian says better than STDs. Okay. Um. Okay. Women to do. Ah, I think Scorpion. Okay, but horse sounds tough. Okay, that's fine. But thank you guys so much for all your contributions. I really appreciate it. For those on Facebook and Cosby, we are learning from him a bit. Okay. Um, those on Facebook, those on YouTube, I really do appreciate you so much for coming. I just thought I'll bring this so that we can talk about it, because I know that a lot of people, once they've gone through it, it's difficult for them. Some people will stay in the marriage but never forgive. But it's not helping you if you don't forgive. So you want to forgive. If you decide that you want to stay, you must forgive. If you decide that you want to give your partner a second chance, then you must forgive. Okay, if you're suffering from full time, then so less of. Yeah, when the Bible say most women decide to cheat after Mr. Cheat fails to change. I'm not saying it's good revenge, but some ladies might want to use this to drive their point home. And that is completely wrong. Okay, so your partner cheats on you and you decide to pay him back or pay her back. That's completely wrong in my opinion. And that's why I said if you decide to stay, if you decide to give the person a second chance, give them a second chance. Make sure you forgive them, have a conversation, and then make a commitment to making your marriage work. Go for counseling. Share with love. Thank you so much for coming. Go for counseling if you want to. Take time to go through the process. Take time to heal as a person and take time to heal as a couple. Okay, so it's really important that we do that so that um this betrayal doesn't happen a second time. Okay. Okay, so yeah, when you Bible saying the percentage of men to women is 90/10. Okay. Shout out to you all. Thank you so much, Charlotte, for coming. Okay, so we're going to be ending this live stream anytime soon because, like I said, it was just something that was heavy in my heart. I had a different topic I was going to talk about. True babes have been women mad as your man again. Ain't you is bad girl because they right. Okay, so it was just I had a different topic I was going to talk about this week, but I when I heard this woman, it became a burden in my heart to talk about it because I know that there are people that go through this. They've been cheated on. Their partners have had an affair. They don't know how to move on. Okay, so you're in the married in a relationship and you've decided that okay, I'm going to stay, but you haven't forgiven the person. You don't know what to do. So this is just me coming out to say, okay, you know what? If you decide to stay, if you decide to give the person a second chance, then you must forgive. You must make a commitment to make the marriage work. And like yeah, when the Bible says, you don't just run away because an affair happened. It's not anyone's prayer. It's not what we wish for, but it does happen in some cases. It's not pleasant, but it does happen. But when it happens, you don't just throw in the towel and say, okay, you know what, that's it. Okay, give the person a second chance if you can. If you can't, move on. And above all, let God be the center of your marriage. Let God help you to heal because sometimes the healing process can be difficult. I can't remember what it was, and at the time I was going through so much pain, so from betrayal, from someone hurting me, and I started asking God, please help me to forgive this person, help me to let go of this pain. So sometimes you need to ask whatever you believe in. I believe in God, so I'll ask God, so please help me. Let God be the center of your marriage. You are in verses, avoid cheating scenarios, avoid uncomfortable situations, avoid exes, make your marriage work, satisfy your spouse, do what he or she likes. The list is endless. Okay, so you need to make an effort. Don't be careless when it comes to your marriage. Don't be careless. You need to make an effort. I agree with Blue Jeans that cheating is messy, especially when kids are involved. Yes, that's totally right. Marriage is a school and we can never stop learning and doing what is best. Okay, and yes, it's a school. whatever situation. And remember, every marriage is unique. No marriage is the same as the other. And what applies to one person, one marriage, might not necessarily work for the next person. Okay, so it's a school. So every marriage is unique. Every marriage is peculiar. So you need to find out what works best for you. And remember to love yourself. Thank you so much, A29. Remember to love yourself above all. Love yourself so that you can give out. Be true to yourself as well. Okay, don't try to deny your feelings. Don't try to hide your feelings. Don't try to do things because the society expects you to do it. Don't stay in a marriage because the society expects you to stay there. Okay, so you want to do what's right for you. Okay, and then make your marriage or make a commitment to make your marriage work. I told myself that a human being should not stress me as you can die of depression. And that's so true. And that's why I said, love yourself, give yourself, let your be your number one. Might sound like it's selfish, but be your number one. Let your happiness be your number one priority. Everyone else comes after you. Okay, well, thank you guys so much. I think we're going to end the live stream now. We have another live stream, Ogon Wanji. I can't pronounce it. At so this is 6 o'clock for me now. So in an hour, we have a live stream. I'm a guest at Ogom on this channel, and we're talking about tips for a successful relationship. So if you can join us, then please do. We'll really, really appreciate you. But thank you guys all so much for coming. I appreciate you. Remember to love yourself. Have a beautiful week. Have um, a beautiful Sunday, beautiful evening, a blessed week ahead. I remember, keep living your best life and to be the best version of yourself every day. But thank you so much for coming. I can start calling everybody's names. I've got 21 people here. Well, thank you, Bluebell, yeah, Wendy Fitness, Esther, Tonda, yeah, that's in Dubai, Yomi Kitchen. Thank you all so much. Busima Baria, thank you so much. Elias Matters, Cobbs Den, Blue Jeans, thank you. Share with Love, A29 Fashion, thank you all so much. I appreciate every single one of you. But thank you so much. If I haven't called your name, I do apologize. Behold yours. Victory Space, thank you all so much. I appreciate every single one of you for coming. But thank you so much and have a beautiful week, everyone. Bye.